Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's 2024. My name is Karuana Gatimu. Welcome to Mondays at Microsoft. I am here with my wonderful friend, Heather.
Hello, everybody. Heather Cook. How are you doing? 2024. Yay. So excited.
Yes.
How are you?
So exciting. So exciting. We're here to keep you updated on Microsoft product news, on events, and community happenings. So we're just going to hop right in because it's 2024 and we're full of energy. I hope you all had a great break.
Yay. Awesome. Right on. Are we getting into one big rock?
Yes, we are. We're going to get right into Run Big Rock. And my friends in government, you should pay attention to this one. I'm always happy when I can talk about something that's happening for government clouds. Sometimes they're a little 30 days behind the commercial releases. But there was a wonderful article published by Candace Ling talking about all the Azure OpenAI services in Azure government that are going to enable government accounts to really start to participate in this AI transformation. And we're going to pop that link in there. It's also talking about Llama 2 being available in those Azure AI models for Azure government. And in spring of 2024, Teams Premium and Azure OpenAI for classified workloads will arrive. So we're doing a lot of work in the government space. Our government customers are very important to us. I myself do a lot of public sector work, certainly did during the pandemic. And, those are people who are really serving everyone in the country and beyond. And so there's always a plan for those of you who don't work in government. There's three designations: GCC, GCC High, and in the US DoD. And those are three levels of clouds for our government customers. Now, internationally, if you're watching from one of our international locations, hello, you are using GCC, and that means that you get a lot of the capabilities and features first. That is the first cloud that usually gets all the new capabilities. So these things will hit you very soon, and we're going to continue to drive innovation for those government customers. But I'm excited about this. This also means that now is the time, if you're a government customer, to really think about your policies in Microsoft 365, how you're allowing teams to be deployed, and the work that you're doing to make sure that Microsoft 365 is like a self-healing system. Your tenant and your service have lots of capabilities around that. You can learn all about that in our governance sessions, either from Ignite or right from the Copilot homepage. But we'll be talking more about these capabilities across Azure OpenAI, Teams Premium, Microsoft 365 coming to our government clouds soon. But that was a great article by Candace, so go and check that out.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Fantastic. So much is happening.
No, it's like, what else have we got on the books? I think we also have a new Copilot key on Windows hardware. Yeah. Boop. So it's first time in like forever that we've gotten a new key on any of the Windows hardware. So CES in Las Vegas is happening this coming week. So you'll be able to see that on some new Windows 11 PCs. So the Copilot, it's sort of the biggest significant change in literally 3 decades. So it's pretty cool.
And well, you can kind of tell our commitment to Copilot. If we're going to put a key on the keyboard, hey folks, this isn't going anywhere. This is we're in. We're all in with this Copilot stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And 30 years ago, literally, was when the Windows key went on the keyboard. So it's there's not been a lot of big major changes. The semicolon's still there, of course, as to help us out. So that's pretty exciting. So CES happening this week. Check it out there. We also have, the Microsoft Research. I love the Microsoft Research team. I know you do too. We work with them all the time, and they're just brilliant people. And they just did a year in review, which is really cool. And a lot of, they just released a ton of AI research. I plucked out one that I thought was really interesting. It's, so the Microsoft Research team, they did an Accelerate Foundation Models Research Global Network and Resource Platform. Blah, wow. That's like a big name, but AFMR. But they're getting the research community together to solve big societal challenges and problems, human goals, values, all through human AI interactions. And so they have state-of-the-art foundation models to really look at how to examine the cutting edge models and applications will impact society. So that one really interesting. And they have 190 principal investigators from over 100 institutions around the world. So this is a really cool, and this is like one little line in this giant research year in review too that I plucked out. So really neat stuff. Definitely check that out. Those are things, again, remember, you can use those to read and pluck out something like I just did and share that with a team and read about it and go check it out. And also, if you're thinking about dipping into AI, because if you haven't dipped in yet, we're already all dipped, like, right? Yeah, I know the nails are dipped. So definitely check that out. It'll help with those conversations that you're having internally. So yeah, did you see
Yeah,
this?
anything. I think that's so important because anything you can do from a career perspective, this is a moment for all of us. And I'm always going to remind everyone now is the time to be integrating these pieces of information into your language, into your career,
Yep.
so that you can help your stakeholders really understand what is going on. I posted on LinkedIn just over the break a great article about stakeholder management from a gentleman that I follow online. And it just reminded me how important it is to really keep your stakeholders up to date on things that are happening. Because if you think you're busy, right, our stakeholders are even busier and they're relying on us to provide them with this sort of insight. So I love it when you bring this research stuff. I'm going to go and read this because I haven't read it yet. And you can, by the way, use Copilot to help you summarize things like that so you can get this stuff, get, some of the salient points out of it. But I'm a reader, so I do like to read and find things out. So fantastic work from them.
Yeah, it's very, very
Absolutely.
cool. Let's see, what else is going on? We've got oh, did you wanted to talk about the Satya? What happened with
I
Satya?
do want to talk about that because we would be remiss if we didn't note the fact that Satya Nadella was selected as CNN's CEO of the year. And every time you see these kinds of accolades, you really wonder, okay, is that just because of his stock price or the financial management of the company? But actually, in this case in particular, it's about the innovation he's been driving. But what I just want to share is the fact that working inside Microsoft is a completely different experience than it was a decade ago, or certainly 15 or 20 years ago. And that's because of the culture that Satya has driven. We wouldn't have gotten to market with all of these Copilot innovations so quickly if he hadn't been busy transforming our company from the inside out. So shout out to him. It's a great article on his leadership. And, I'm glad that other people understand what we certainly know inside Microsoft is that he's really leading us in a positive direction, in an inclusive and compassionate way. He really has a lot of EQ, and I appreciate that about him. So
Yeah.
excellent stuff happening this morning.
And then on the
This year.
completely other side of like fun as well as Satya being an awesome CEO, we've got stickers in Microsoft Designer. So like
Oh, that's so exciting.
the complete other side. So
If
yeah,
you ever
so
checked out Designer, I always want to say Designer is a fabulous tool. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Clipchamp and some of the M365 product
yeah.
stuff. But if you haven't used your regular Microsoft account to access Designer and generate some fun images for your presentations, for your own personal Facebook feed, for Instagram, whatever, you're missing out because it's a ton of fun. And I use it not only for work, but I really use it for my own feeds and things that I do. It makes great
100%.
3D dogs because, I like dogs.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic tool that really allows you to bring a different level of creativity in. And now they have stickers. So I'm very excited about that.
That's super cool. I'll give a shout out to Amanda Sterner, who is one of our MVPs and MCTs out of Sweden. I was reading Twitter this morning and I saw it and I found out from her. So thank you so much for the heads up on that. So her tweet is there. And then also follow the MSFT 365 designer Twitter handle. They're just getting started over there because it's new, but there's lots of cool stuff. And they have a tweet out today asking for feedback and features, wondering what folks are looking for. So it's a great place to have that conversation too. So if you aren't following them, give them a follow.
Absolutely. And Tanya, to your question, you can tweet them about that. Hey, there needs to be a commercial Azure Active Directory or Entra ID version of Designer. I think that that's a great idea, and I know that there's conversation about it. I haven't seen that on the roadmap yet. I may have missed it, but I'll put that in as a follow up in terms of what happens. Right now, you do need to use what we call your MSA account.
Mhm.
kind of like your personal Microsoft account to log into it. So your Enter ID from work will not work at this time. But it's many things are coming soon. I think there's a big blur between commercial and consumer that's happening at the company to bring more of these easier tools to the enterprise market. So excellent question.
Yeah, and I think it's like we've got sort of like, Microsoft does enterprise sometimes and first and then SMB and then SMB and then enterprise, right? So you get that kind of, so we're going to meet in the middle, y'all. Don't worry. There's going to be everything for
Absolutely.
everybody coming as usual. So yeah. All
And
right.
one of the places that you can always see kind of what's available for the individual. Of course, you're going to follow the M365 roadmap. Of course, you all are doing that, and you're listening to us. But when you want to have your own experience of it, if you go to the home of OneDrive, right? Go up into your waffle, click on OneDrive, and look at the new things you can create from there. Because right now you will see Clipchamp, for instance. You will see Loop integrated there. These are two new things that have shown up in the home of OneDrive in that new experience so that you can create videos directly from with Clipchamp directly from OneDrive and online. There is a desktop app, it's a web wrapper for the Clipchamp application. Will it be available in enterprise? Yes, it will. I happen to know the answer to that one. But it's important to think about that because these content creation tools, which have not always been great for Microsoft, honestly, sometimes they've been meh. Now we're really moving them forward. So being able to get to those two things is important from right there. And especially if you're in a small to medium business, having those tools available at your fingertips right there to create something new and create it in the right place at the right time is so important. So check out those things. We had some announcements came at the end of the year with regard to Clipchamp and Loop being available there in OneDrive and new capabilities that are coming. But what I really want to call out from that end of year wrap up for SMB is the admin app in Microsoft Teams. You and I know how to probably go to the admin center for Microsoft 365. Many
Yep.
people don't have rights to that, and it can be really confusing. If you're a smaller business and you just need to get a few things done, going into the M365 admin center can be a daunting task. Well, that's why we created the admin app for Microsoft Teams, and it brings common activities that you need to do as an admin right into your Teams experience. If you have less than 25 seats, it's automatically installed for you, but anybody can use it. You can get it from the Microsoft Teams App Store, and it allows you to do things like manage users and manage Teams Phone and do other things of that nature that are just such common tasks. Now, of course, you have to have the appropriate rights and be an administrator for Microsoft Teams for those things to work. But even if you are an enterprise admin, I happen to really love that app. I think it's just fast and easy. And certainly for folks who work in smaller organizations, small meaning like 10,000 seats or less, right? And of course, especially if you have like 300 or 400 seats, this is a great application. So make sure you go and check that out. Like I said, you can get it from the App Store. And it's just a fun thing. We started that a few years ago, but they keep building onto it. And the new release was about adding more capabilities to manage Teams Phone from within the Teams admin app itself. And so keeping that to be a smoother pipeline for small businesses who are using Microsoft Teams Phone. So
Awesome.
That is a fantastic thing.
Cool.
Lots of stuff going on, but and I want to say that when it slows down around here, Heather knows this about me. That's when I get a chance to actually write and produce my own content. It slowed down a little bit at the end of the year, so I felt very productive. And if you're not already following the adoption newsletter on LinkedIn, I suggest that you do it, even if adoption isn't your number one thing. I did a recap of everything that happened in 2023 and the resources that are available. AK.MS Adoption News. You can subscribe right there on LinkedIn. But I did a supplemental paper this time, and it's part of a series that I'm writing on becoming an AI-powered organization. And this one's entitled, It's Not About the AI, It's About the Trust. You can also download that directly from our adoption.microsoft.com Copilot page under the Adoption Manager role, insights on Copilot. because I really want people to understand that all these great AI features are fantastic, but we have to build relationships with our stakeholders and employees so we're really delivering business value. And I'm going to talk a lot about that in the coming year. Of course, we'll talk about all the fancy features that are coming, but the real where the rubber meets the road is really about how you are understanding what your business users need, using our rapid adoption guidance to get them hands-on as soon as possible, and helping them understand how this is going to impact their particular individual role. People have lots of questions about AI, they have concerns about it. And I believe as technologists, our job is to help people over the hump of understanding why this is important, just like we did when the cloud was created. Because, of course, Heather and I were there too.
Yeah.
We did that too.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Lots of teas.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Been putting links in the chat, y'all, for all of these too, so you can look at them later as well. Couple of things, jumping into some biz app stuff. If you haven't followed already, there's a great newsletter, and I cannot believe, congratulations, y'all. You are on issue 156. Amazing. I remember when this
Wow.
started. Yeah, it's Karina Clayson, Magnus Gelther Sorensen, Daniel Laskovitz, and Ed Gonzalez, and they have been putting this together. And it's a weekly, it's awesome. It's out there on its own website. I believe it's now on Substack, so you can go check it out there. So please do subscribe to that. There's a developer newsletter as well. So put together by the community, for the community, of the community, of what's going on with everybody. So very cool. Yeah, love it.
Love that. I love it. I love it when those community leaders do stuff like that, because it's always the most relevant stuff, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'll put that link in here in one moment. And the other kind of cool is Project Sophia. And I heard about this a bit ago because I wasn't allowed to talk about it for a bit. But it's a AI business research canvas, and it's coming out of our division for business applications. So it's this AI powered business research canvas. It's designed to help solve complex cross-domain business problems. So it's got a preview out right now. Jack Robothon, who is one of our awesome marketers, product marketers, has been he's like winning LinkedIn, in my opinion. I love his posts. And so I totally just grabbed this from him. So you can download it for free, give it a try. You can ask business questions across any of your domains. You can look for how to visualize and interact with data in new ways. It's just this really interesting new canvas that's free, that you can, for right now, and also you can try it out and give it a trial. So Project Sophia, there's a blog, there's a demo, there's a website, and all of that stuff. So you can check it out. And then in Power Apps, we've had a Power Ups program first year recap that's happening. So the Power Up program was announced at the first Power Platform Conference over a year ago. And so there's 25,000 folks that have gone through the program. It's free training. Out of 180 countries. It's a 12-week low-code upskilling initiative. I remember watching the numbers when people signed up, and it was like, oh, we'll probably get a few, and it went, wow, and it was just amazing. And so it's very exciting to see so many folks go through that. So the Power Up program, put the link in the chat too. So it's still open for people to sign up. They're going through different cohorts right now. So it's pretty cool. Those numbers are really awesome. Also, we have Haniel Korotu, who is one of our enterprise architects at Protivity. He's one of our MVPs. He is working with Power Platform to help his daughter manage her diabetes. And his youngest daughter, Eden, was diagnosed with type 1. And so he's created an app. He's working with the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, Canada, where insulin was invented 101 years ago. Fun fact.
Wow.
And so it's really, this blog article is really cool. It goes through everything and how he did it. And of course, he's sharing it. And so it's just, I love, people are working to solve problems for their own families with our software, as well as all these big giant business problems in the world too. So very cool stuff there.
I love to see that, because that's what makes the technology. Sometimes we forget that the technology can have a direct impact on people's lives when we point it at something that's so impactful and important, like he has. So I love that you brought that story, because we all have something in our lives like that, that the technology can assist. And so what we get to do.
Yeah, and she did the thing that most enterprises sometimes skip, is naming it something fun, because when you name
Yes.
something fun, people adopt it more, and so the app is called
All the
the
people all the time. Name
it
your
is,
intranet. Don't just call it the root of SharePoint.
yeah,
Please don't
right.
do that.
Yes, the buzz, the hive, the whatever. But yeah, she's called it Munching Red Panda because the red panda is her favorite animal. So,
All
so
right.
anyway, so shout out to both of you on that for sure. In Power Automate, we had AI Builder GPT prompts generally available. So no,
Yeah.
those are out. So you can go work on your generative AI capabilities and your automated workflows and your apps. That's really exciting. This December, Power Automate for Desktop had its new release. So that came out, and there's all kinds of features and lists of what happened in that area that are in that blog. And then jumping into Fabric and Power BI. So there is still a skill up on Fabric. The Cloud Skills Challenge for Fabric through Ignite is still open until January 15th. If you take it, you could possibly win a VIP pass to the next Microsoft Ignite. I believe most of the Cloud Skills Challenges that happened with Ignite are coming to a close soon. So if you have not finished those, you got a little bit of time left, but those will close soon. And then I know the Microsoft Fabric Community Conference. So that's the first Fabric conference for the community. So that's very exciting. So that's coming out here at the in March, and then you can get registered and check that out. Lots of folks from the Fabric product team, lots of community members and MVPs will be there, and that's going to be a great show coming up in Las Vegas. And then the Fabric Power BI team doesn't have a feature summary blog, but they do have a looking back on what happened in 2023. So as you can imagine, that blog is giant. So yeah,
It is nice.
yeah,
Sometimes it's about where to find the information more
yeah,
than anything else. And that's what we try to
yeah.
do is be your,
The signpost.
lighthouses along the way to find the information in the labyrinth of the Microsoft ecosystem. It's very, very
Yeah,
important. I'm really
yeah,
excited about that Fabric show in March. I think that's going to be fantastic. If data is your thing, that is the place to be.
yeah.
And there's a lot of amazing events that are going to be coming up. And I have to mention to you the Microsoft 365
Yep.
conference. It is going to be happening at the end of April and beginning of May in
Yeah.
Orlando, Florida. It is going to be the place to build your AI skills, to go deep with deep technical information about Microsoft 365. Power Platform folks will be there. Microsoft Viva content will be there. And you'll meet so many of the product makers from across this space. So, have your conversation now. You can visit their website at m365conf.com. Get yourself registered. There's a document there where you can help convince your boss that you need to go. But it's going to be incredibly comprehensive. And this year, with all of the AI and Copilot announcements, you want to really use this as an opportunity to connect with community, get your technical questions answered, and attend our deep dives, because that's what that's for. You can kind of think of it as the click down in a way, and the deepening of knowledge from Ignite. At Ignite, we announce all these amazing capabilities and features. There's lots of conversation and there is technical content there. But at a show like Microsoft 365 Conference, we really get to go deep. We have time with people. It's a little less hectic than Ignite, and you really get that opportunity also to connect with others. Really excited about the booth, about the lightning talks, about the career track. If you're new to Microsoft, we'll have things for you to help you get through things. So I really hope to see everyone in Orlando at the end of April. You
That's
can
gonna be
check out their workshops, which are already published and available as well. So there's pre and post show workshops too that you can go
right.
to deepen a specific skill.
Yeah, that's awesome. Super excited about that show. So
Yay!
good stuff. Yeah. So there was, we had a little bit of a, everybody I hope got some downtime, during the holidays a little bit. And especially even, for all of you out there who are event producers who are putting up shows and boot camps and all those things. First of all, thank you. Thank you for all your hard work all year round. And we're kicking off another calendar year here. So things are heating up, of course, in the event space. So let's see, in India, in Ahmedabad, there was a show that was this week, the 5th and the 6th Community Days, M365 Saturday. So we have a bunch of stuff coming up in the next bit. There's a Community Days intra-team event online, Volume 9, about modern intranets and AI, the 17th and 18th. I actually think I might be speaking at that. That reminds me, I was like, wait a minute, I think I'm doing that show. I will get back to you today on that. I'm so sorry. I totally have to do that. It's the CET time zone and it's virtual. You spoke there last year, actually.
I did.
Yes. So I think I'm doing it this year. So there we go. So Community Days, AMS Strasbourg is the 18th. Azure OpenAI and ChatGPT Fest out of Reston, Virginia is the 18th and 19th. We got Community Days Lagos on the 27th, Luxembourg the 30th, and then Tallinn, Harjuma, Estonia has an event January 31st and the 2nd. And then we also have Community Days Miami coming up, I believe, on the 1st. So I did all of January today just because we haven't been on, but there's a lot going on in the event space, which is really exciting. So
yeah, make sure to visit communitydays.org. That is the place. And you can also sign up for our Global Community Initiative news and get that stuff direct to your inbox. That is ak.ms MGCI sign up. You can go there and get all of that community information right to your inbox. It's a aggregate of what we do in that community call. One of the things that I'm excited about is this month, I'm going to say this live on air, Heather, because I'm going to commit to this. This month, we are going to publish on communitydays.org and in a variety of other locations, a central calendar of the community calls at Microsoft. What? How long have you people been asking for that? Oh my God. I think that was one of my goals to do when I came to Microsoft a dozen years ago. It's been that difficult. And so we're very excited. I'm in the last mile of gathering that information and formatting it so it can be put in newsletters. It can be put on the tech community. Awesome. It can be put on community days. It's all about having a central repo inside Microsoft so it can be published in a variety of locations. So it's easy for you to find the community calls that you want to participate in. We have them for SMB. We have them for M365 Champions. There's a ton across Power Platform and the developer space, Azure, Viva, corporate communicators. So you need a list because even if you can't attend them all, you can go and grab the content from them and you can listen to them on, 1.2 or 1.5 speed or use Copilot against them and get the insights from them. So very excited to announce that. That's one of my big goals at Microsoft, finally getting it done. Thank you for your patience, community. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing, speaking of calendars and all of that. So I cannot tell you how many of you have asked me the question, what are the events for the year? Everybody's excited. So, I was like, it's January, but I'm like, okay. So 2 things. One, if you're a producer and you have your show dates locked, put them in communitydays.org because I continue, Karuana, all of us, we're really pushing everybody to use communitydays.org as that one-stop shop for all things community events and just all events in general, as far as anything that's being produced outside of Microsoft, and even our first party events we might put up there as well, just so that we know the dates, right? When we know them. So please, if you're a producer, please put your stuff up and as soon as you know it, because people are looking, people are making decisions now because budgets, January, all of that depending, people are making decisions now about what events they're going to send people to and what they want to go to and invest in, right? So if you're not in the mix, you may not be in the mix as a choice, right? So do promote your stuff once you know it, because it's going to be important as the year goes on for sure.
That's so important. And then the next step is we want to hear from you, right? All of these great community days that are happening, no matter what kind of little brand they use, it doesn't matter. These local events, this is a fantastic time to practice your speaking skills. I guarantee you have something to share. People always say to me, oh, Karuana, I don't have anything to say, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true. Your experience is valuable. I guarantee you that each and every one of you listening out there has learned something that the rest of us could benefit from. So think about submitting for these conferences. Think about running your own. And if you don't like speaking, that's totally fine. Come and write a blog post on our community blog, contribute into the forums. this year is the time for you to make a plan about how all of these changes in the technology space are going to benefit you and your career, either bringing you more meaning, bringing you more recognition, bringing you a promotion, helping you to move your career forward. And we are 100% here to help you do that. So that's what the Microsoft community is for. Heather and I have been dedicated to that, both of us, for a really long time. And we have benefited from this work. So we are poster children for using the community in positive ways to make amazing friends and to learn a lot and stay curious and do work that's meaningful. So we hope you're doing that. I do want to give a shout out to the folks who are listening to us now on YouTube as well. We are a dual stream now. You can find us on LinkedIn or YouTube, whatever is your platform of choice. If you're out there on LinkedIn, make sure on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe and get your little notifications of when we go live and when we post new events. Love our core audience on LinkedIn as well. I really appreciate the support you all have shown us for this show. We're going to keep bringing it to you through the rest of this year. We've been renewed.
Yes, absolutely. Yay. And and those of you on YouTube, there's only so many hands I have, and we're working on getting all the chat and the links set up. So I'm going to go through before we end here, because there was a question from Tanea about the links. So I'm going to just blast those all in here in just one moment. So you'll have those in a sec. So
absolutely, we will get it together. So I'm just excited. I'm excited for 2024. I love spending every other Monday morning with you. It is 8:30. We're going to wrap, but come back on January 22nd. We're going to have a bunch of news for you, more events and more insights about what it's like at Microsoft on Mondays. Thank you, Heather Cook. You are always an awesome co-host. And thank you, everyone who is watching.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful another couple of weeks, and Happy New Year again. It's still New Year, January. So yay.
Awesome. Happy New Year. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.